Mike, okay? All right, everybody, this is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop, and I have a gorgeous new face on the scene. Tell everybody who you are.
My name is Denise Lumbaka, and my twin sister, who's not here right now, is Aisha Durville.
Twins, y'all. Yes, y'all jealous. Now, let's talk about what you bring to the Atlantic City Comic Con. What do you have on the table to entice the fans with?
So what we have are two of our books we wrote, Space Aliens, Bad Mothers and Guns, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And they're essentially short stories of different things that happen in life and that people like to enjoy. Whether it's science fiction, romance, or action and adventure, and some thrillers. And all of them have a twist to the ending.
Okay, so this is like Twilight Zone, Black Mirror type stuff.
Kinda, yeah.
I am a big fan of the Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah?
And one thing about the Twilight Zone that always caught me, not was the irony, but the drama behind the story itself. What made you come up with taking upon that genre and bringing it to the next level with brown faces?
Well, because we realized that some people aren't reading as much because we're so inundated with visual stuff. So we wanted to make the story shorter, but we also wanted to keep cliffhangers and keep people interested. So that's why we decided to go with the short story type of, bizarro type of stories.
But that's interesting because those type of stories are not about, there's a problem, who do we call? Let's save the day. The end. New problem, next book.
Right.
This type of writing really delves into the human psyche.
It does, and it looks at people, like the first book has many heroines, right? But it puts them in a good light, but then some of them are in a dark light, but they figure out how to mitigate that situation. The second book is a bit more zanier and darker, and it also takes like social issues, but then it kind of warps it a bit, takes it to the extreme.
That's interesting because I find that women of color are never prominently included into many genres. If we look at cosplay, we got to give it to the mother of all cosplay, which is Eartha Kitt, her Catwoman. She destroyed Batman.
That's right.
When she was more popular than Batman.
I know, and everyone knows who she is. She's
exactly.
global.
Perfect.
And it's funny you should bring that because one of our characters, Celine, is actually the heroine of our sci-fi story, which is called Adipose.
Okay.
And we've got her in different variations. We played with her character because we just wanted to make her prominent. And if you notice, we've got her in different skin tones to represent all types of different black women.
I like that. I like that a lot. I always said that if America had to divvy up its riches, women of color should be given the higher mark of the worth of the country. Because women of color have worked in fields and in households, have endured physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain with the making of this country. With that being said, in the genre of being a heroine or a hero period, there's still also a lineage of women who are great that are not being taught. How important is it to you to not only bring that voice out, but to inspire the young girls who are going to read this and let them know that their voices are just as important, if not more, as the world changes day by day?
So I think it's very important, especially when you have a young child that's developing, and especially when it's a girl, because this is the year of the woman, as you know, with all of the different things that are happening in the media. And I think it's important that we start really young so they know this self-worth, that there's always better, and that they shouldn't just be happy with what's given to them, that they should go out and get more. And I think by writing these books and putting out our artwork, these are God-given talents, and we're just taking it to a point to where we're showing God, hey, you gave us this gift, we're going to use it. We are women, we are at a point where we should be able to exploit our talents and impart that on the youth of today.
Exquisite. As a school teacher, we have a lot of young ladies that may not have men in the home. We have a lot of young ladies who are so used and prone to the inner city and to the negative sides of life that strong female characters should be introduced to them to show them that they have a self-worth that goes beyond the typical norm of the rap video, the angry girl like loving hip hop and throwing drinks on each other.
Yeah.
With the advent of the Wonder Woman movie, we've seen the look of the woman, especially women of color in the Dora Milaje and Black Panther come to light. Where do you see the future of visuals when it comes to this genre, science fiction, etc., when it comes to women of color in general?
Well, see, I think science fiction is great, and I think that's a great venue to do that. And you can have, you know, girls of all ages look to that. But I think you got to also make it a bit more real too, because you don't want a little girl growing up thinking that she has to be like a sci-fi character in order to, you know, to have influence on society or to do something great. And that's why the stories we write, while some of them are science fiction, like with our character Celine as a heroine, we have other stories where the subject you just mentioned, there's a girl, her name is in one of the stories, Jasmine, and she's mentored by another family because the father isn't in the home to help her to become a doctor. And so I think what's important is that in the message we put out there for kids, all kids that come from any less than humble beginnings, they need to know that no, you don't make your legacy based off of some rap video and being a video vixen girl. Be a doctor, okay? Be an engineer. Be a soldier. I mean, I was a soldier, and I credit everything I've been able to be successful at with having been a soldier. Gave me structure and discipline. That may not be for some people, but it might be an opportunity that they need to take a look at. But so I guess the bottom line is what I'm saying is that there are many things out there to become. Just don't focus on that quick, fast money. You got to gain the knowledge too.
So, an aspect of what you're teaching, we'll teach everybody where they can get the products since they're not here in person, and how we can continue them to get the stuff that's very much necessary and needed for our people in our community.
So essentially where they can find everything, my stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so we have a website. It's www.spacealiensbadmothersandguns.com. They could also find it on Amazon.com, and then we have SoundCloud where you can actually listen to some excerpts. We also have Instagram, Space Aliens Bad Mothers Guns, but there's underscores in between. And we also have a Twitter and Pinterest. So we're all over.
All right, everybody. Last question. Now that they know where to get it, for the person who reads this book, what is the inspiration and legacy you want them to take from the book to inspire them to create in their own lives?
I want them to know that with all of this, life isn't limited. To understand that whatever decisions you make in life, own it, whether it's a good choice or a bad choice, own that decision and then bounce back from it. Because there are some stories that we've written where people are having to suffer some consequences, but because they take responsibility for their actions and they put themselves on a different course, things can be a lot better.
All right, everybody, guess who showed up? That's right. So yes, they're twins. Now, thank you, Space Aliens, Bad Mother and Guns. It's a long title. I love the concept though of that Twilight Zone ironic twist to writing. Now you're twins. The one dynamic about being a twin is that you're two different people with a spiritual connection. How important is it to touch on the spiritual connection of a story and give it to the reader so they can appreciate you through your artwork?
I mean, a lot of the stories we do write is relatable. So in that sense, it's spiritual. Sorry, I was caught off guard by the question. I told you.
I done stumped them, everybody.
I told you. Well, no, it's not. Yeah, it's could be only because certain stories, to be honest, are just written for fun. It's written for entertainment value. It's written for people that just don't want the everyday type of thing. Other stories, for example, like Adipose, that one is spiritual because it kind of connects humans to the earth, what's going on with the earth, what's going on. Because like the earth and human, to me, it's the same thing. Like the human body is made the majority of water, so is the earth. So in that sense, we are really connected. So any destruction we do to our body, it's the same as what we're doing to the earth. And we also try to make it relatable. When she talks about some of the stories are written for fun, there's also an aspect of it that's relatable. And you could read it at face value, but if you're the type of person who likes to dig a bit deeper and look at meanings behind and metaphors behind things, there's definitely something there in each and every story that touches on it. Several layers. So, yeah, that's how we hit them spiritually.
Y'all know how I feel about this. Here we go. One aspect about being a creator, besides opening up to bring people into your art, is also being vulnerable. How much do you give out to your reader so they can relate to you, your story, and also pick up from you as well?
Well, I feel like again, it depends on the story, but the majority of them, like for example, Elodie, very vulnerable character, and definitely certain aspects of her mother, Mercedes, I allowed myself to kind of go in there, put myself in her shoes, and then, you know, her vulnerability. She's a very vulnerable person, actually, and I would say some of those traits that she has were mine. So that's why, I mean, I applied it to the story. So I think I guess you can say, I mean, it's 100% vulnerable, all of it. And her story, The Game, also touches on it. Like when she wrote that story, and it's in the second book, the volume 2, I almost thought it was her that she was writing about because it was so much of it there. And I said, wow. But then again, it could be any person because it talks about relationships. And then how do you respond to relationships? Do you just crawl under a bed and cry, or do you try to rise from it, or do you be a player of that, which is why it's called The Game. The Game, right? Yeah, and it's also it also has rejection. Yeah, and how one deals with rejection. You can either move on, you can stay stuck, or you can try to turn it into a positive thing.
Last question, because you really sparked something in my heart just now. This is my last question. Whenever you write a character, part of your psyche develops the character. For instance, Batman is popular because of his villains, but Batman and his villains are all psychotic episodes. So a person can relate to each character some type of way because they have felt that. If you could characterize yourself in a creation that you've done or that one that the mainstream media may know, what character most represents you, and how do you bring that out, not in your writing, but in your process to create?
That's a tough one. So for me, okay, so again, The Game is another one. I would say the character Fripp, I would most relate to is probably most likely me, in the sense that she's this one girl that's in this crazy city life, and she decides to leave. Like, she's just done. There's a lot of Norse mythology mixed in there, and I was studying it at the time. That's how I got the idea of writing this character. And some of the names are actually based on Norse mythology. But I felt when in trying to create this character and thinking about her, I pulled certain elements. She's a well-rounded character. She's also a little crazy. But
oh, you're crazy?
She's a little crazy. But she's very calm and collected. Like, outside is this solid exterior. Inside, there's something going on, but you wouldn't know it unless she lets you in, and she never does. But yeah, so I did grab certain elements of myself and of everything that goes around me, and apply it to that character in particular, because I don't know, when I thought about her, she was just the most relatable. She was like a piece of clay that I molded with my hands, and I applied some of the things that I felt into her.
And for you?
I would say, if we talk about if we talk about a known character that's global that everyone might know, I don't know if I could say I necessarily relate to anyone. But what I will say is within each of the stories that I've written, I've pulled experiences and things maybe I would have liked to have said or how I would have liked to have reacted, but unfortunately didn't react. So it's kind of like taking me and taking a situation but morphing it into something else and saying, hey, I didn't react that way, but at least I got a character that can react and react the way that I wish that I would have reacted, if that makes sense.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard it from two gorgeous minds and gorgeous ladies. Most High bless you both for your creation. Once again, tell everybody I get in touch with you to get your stuff.
Oh, so you can visit us. Our social media handle is IG at Space Aliens, Bad Mothers Guns. But it's actually, you know what? And then there's spacealiensbadmotherguns.com. There's also this where you can take a look at that. There are underscores in our social media, so that's why it kind of.
That's all good, because I'm going to put it on the screen anyway so everybody can see.
And you can see this too. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, there you go. It looks good. The other one's blurry, but it looks good. So, ladies, much continued success in your creation. I bought 2 books, and I look forward to buying more.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. We're a little blurred out right now, but
peace out, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Peace.